Hi, Sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdlentshe. Happy New Year, people. I'm sure it's a good 2022. But I'm doing this video. It's 11:30. 11:30. I'm waiting for 12 o'clock. I don't know why we wait. I was trying to think of why we wait for 12 o'clock, but here I am waiting for 12 o'clock. I've done everything that I wanted to do this evening. I spent time with my mom, I spent time with my kids. We had a bright sideline, everything. So it's been a nice evening. So I was sitting here just thinking about my videos that I want to do for 2021 and for 2022, but I also was thinking about videos that I thought about doing, I planned to do in 2021 that I never got to do for whatever reason. There's quite a few actually. Some I actually did the videos and never posted them for whatever reason, for different reasons. This one video that I'm thinking about, it was an idea to do a video because one of my viewers, after I had done a video about Uthando Nesithembu, she had commented, which you know what, and I do understand that from where I come from, because I can hear you guys talking about culture when it comes to Isithembu. So I do understand what's in it. I will not understand a lot about Isithembu because this, for me, it's just something that is foreign when it comes to my culture, Isithembu. But still, I still wonder, what do these women do to make sure that they are safe within that relationship and in terms of being protected sexually? How do they make sure that they are safe, that they don't get any STDs, any STIs within their marriage if there are so many people in that marriage? And she sort of hinted in me making a video about it, and it was something that I had thought about before, and I thought it was something very private for these people, that even if we wanted that information, we wouldn't be able to get about them. We would see how do they make sure that they are safe when it comes to issues like of sexual health. And I did try and look on the internet. I think that because culturally, really, we don't really talk about sex freely as much as Zulu, and isithembu being associated with usiko. I think mhlawumbe abantu baye bangakuboni ku-appropriate to ask those questions, because even when they do interviews, they do ask them certain questions, but that particular question, nobody asks them. And even Umakumalo being as open as she is about stuff and her talks, I've never heard her talk about that issue in the relationship. But then it doesn't prevent us from thinking about it and being curious about it. It really makes me curious ukuthi benza kanjani, because for everybody, for all of us, even in relationships where it's one man and one woman, there's issues of that I mean, you both have to consider what steps you're going to take to make sure that you are safe, that you make sure that your partner is safe and yourself is safe. And if you reach a point where you stop using protection, you have to have reasons where you feel like you can trust your partner. So in a relationship yesithembu, I'm really wondering how does it work? Because for an example nje kulona uthando nesithembu, umseleko has expressed ukuthi ufuna iy'ngane eziwu-20, and he's only halfway, Shem. He has a very long way to go. I-oros njalo lena. So I was wondering ukuthi benza kanjani, because okay ufuna iy'ngane eziwu-20. I can understand within ama-marriages akhe lawa awu-4. I mean, it makes sense for us to think ukuthi he doesn't use the protection. It really does make sense because ufuna iy'ngane, angithi ufuna iy'ngane with his wives. But even that, guys, it's like four people. How do they know that all of them, the four of them, because each wife doesn't really have to worry about just Umselego. They have to worry about Umselego and three other people. How do they know for sure? There isn't anybody within this relationship who is cheating. One of the wives is not cheating, maybe. And how do they know if there's a possibility of any of the wives cheating, that they are making sure that they are safe so that they can keep everybody here safe? How does that work? It really is a question that, for some reason, as South Africans, we have stayed away from asking when it comes to Labantu who have come forward publicly and saying ukuthi bafuna ukuphila isithembu. Even kumnakwethu, even when they do reunions, they do not address ama-issues sexual health at all. They do not even touch on that. And I don't think that it's fair, especially when we have so much going on with HIV and AIDS and all of that, that they never really talk about it. It's almost like Bona, they live in a foreign world where these diseases don't exist, and they do. And let's just say that, okay, fine, eh, okay, with his wives, okay, we can't expect him to be safe. Maybe they can say they test after a number of months or whatever, they all go and test and whatever. But it seems like the wives do not know ngeyintombi kaMseleko ukuthi who is girlfriend kaMseleko and all of that. So then how does it work? Does it mean ukuthi he uses protection with the girlfriends but not with the wives? But the other time, uMacele asked the other wives when they were saying, umayeni wena uma ngabe bona bayahamba makufika number 5, and he was like, so nizokwenza njani memithisa outside of umshado? Which means ukuthi, that gave me an idea ukuthi it means ukuthi uMacele uh, has an expectation ukuthi umusa might make somebody pregnant outside of their marriage, which means ukuthi uMacele thinks ukuthi Umseleko is possibly having unsafe sex outside of these marriages zakhe eziwu-4, and she's okay with that. Because when uMacele said that ukuthi, okay, nizothini-ke makulokufika iy'ngane elokhu emithisa ngaphandle, Umseleko didn't jump in and say, hayi Macele, that would never happen mina because I practice, I make sure that you guys are safe. No, he didn't jump in, which means vele he might possibly be having unsafe in, so it's a question that nobody asks. I don't understand why people don't ask. Am I the only one, guys, who's curious about that? Am I the only one who's curious about how does that work? How do they make sure that they are safe within that relationship, within those marriages, and people from outside? How do they make sure that the person that is joining the relationship, because whether it's a girlfriend or is a or whatever we call it, if they bathandana nomseleko, then it means they've joined this union. And this thing of saying, let's say, if you are intimate with your partner and your partner is intimate with abantu about 10, it's like you are also intimate with abantu about 10. So now that applies also in their marriage with sabo. So benza kanjani ukuthi babe safe? Is it something that they're even thinking about? And wouldn't it be beneficial to South Africans if really they have this big solution that is like that guarantees that everybody is safe? If they have that, wouldn't it be beneficial for us if they shared it? How do they do it? How do they make sure that everybody is safe within that relationship? And also, what do they teach their children? Because how are you going to say to your children, practice safe intercourse if you yourself don't, and it's clear that you don't because there's evidence that you don't? So how are you going to teach your children to do otherwise when you're doing something else? And obviously they don't really, because here's the evidence here with Mpumelelo Nangu. He's already made a girl pregnant. Obviously he didn't use protection, so you can clearly see that um abekho ezweni where maybe they concern themselves with that. But how come kanti baphila kuphi bona? So I really would love to know what you guys think about that. Do you think Do you guys have knowledge about how people in those relationships work? Because yes, I do have. There is a history of Kuzani Sembo in my family, but that was my grandfather. That was back then. My grandfather. I don't even think HIV and AIDS was there. If it was there, it wasn't. It hadn't arrived here. So I wouldn't even be able to ask in my family because so did they. I don't even think they knew what condoms were. So yeah, guys, what do you think? What do you think they do? Do they have a secret? There is there an injection that the family takes so everyone gonna is they safe. I'm curious about it. Not to do it disrespectfully, but respectfully so. What is their solution when it comes to that problem? Anyway, please like my video. I hope you guys have a great 2022 and make those New Year's resolutions that we're going to forget about like in March, but make them anyway. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.